أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما. How are you, dear kids? Hopefully you are fine and in the best state of health and iman. Today we are going to recite from ayah number 68, Surah Yasin, and learn a beautiful lesson from it. Let's start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون. Waman, and he whom nu'ammirhu, we grant him long life, nunakkishu, we reverse him, fi in al khalqi, the creation, afala, then will not, yaqilun, they use intellect. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that whoever we grant him long life, وَمَن نُعَمِّرْهُ نُنَكِّسْهُ, and he whom we grant long life, what will happen? نُنَكِّسْهُ فِي الْخَلْقِ, he will turn over or he will reverse. Nunakishu, reverse or turn over him in creation as a newborn. We reverse him in creation like a newborn, right? Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us life when we are babies, we are small. We cannot stand, we cannot speak, we cannot move. We are totally dependent upon our parents or our elders. But while we are growing and when we gain strength, what happens? We become independent and we do all sorts of things with our mobility. But what happens next? There comes a point when we get weaker and weaker. وَمَن نُعَمِّرْهُ نُنَكِّسْهُ فِي الْخَلْقِ. That this happens so that as we age, what happens? We lose our strength. We lose our strength and we get weaker and weaker. It literally means that physically our body starts shrinking and we get weaker and weaker. Our strength gets weaker and weaker. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Afala yaqilun? Then will they not use their intellect? If we know that all the strength that we have today is because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we will lose it somehow, someday, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who is all powerful, almighty. So why the arrogance? We should not be arrogant then. We should not um, we, sh- we should remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the strength. And can we control this? Can we make ourselves younger all our life? No, we cannot. So, why not obey him? Why not follow him? Ayah number 69. وَمَا عَلَّمْنَاهُ الشِّعْرَ وَمَا يَنبَغِي لَهُ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرٌ وَقُرْآنٌ مُبِينٌ. Wama, and not allamnahu, we taught him ashi'ara, poetry. Wama, and not yambaghi, it is befitting lahu, for him. In not huwa, it, illa, except dhikrun, a reminder, wa qur'anun, and a Qur'an, mubin, clear. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is defending the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we have not taught him poetry. Quran is not a poetry. Another motive of this surah starts from here, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is affirming the status of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah is saying that Allah has not taught, no matter how poetic it sounds, but Allah has not taught him poetry. Why? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمَا يَنبَغِي لَهُ, it does not befit him. Why? What does not befit him? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is not among those who should read or say poetry. And why is it so? Because the poets lie a lot. They exaggerate the things. They say the things that are far from truths. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our prophet, was Sadiq. He was a truthful person. Similarly, what does a poet do? A poet thinks a lot. He talks a lot. A poetry is just a commentary, whereas Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or all the prophet that are sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they were practical human beings. They talk and they act. They apply things. They does things. They makes things happen. They make the change. So poetry is nothing closer to any action. It's just a mere talk. Even though Arab society had a very higher status of poets, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is negating the fact over here that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was a poet, because his status was far greater than a poet. This kalam Allah, is based on sidq and truths. It is the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is an eloquent kalam. So Arab used to recognize it because they were very great poets. So they accept the fact that nothing is so beautiful like the Quran. But Quran itself is not a poetry. وَمَا عَلَّمْنَاهُ الشِّعْرَ وَمَا يَنبَغِي لَهُ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرٌ وَقُرْآنٌ مُبِينٌ. And what is Quran? It is a reminder. It is a reminder. Quran is clear. A poetry is ambiguous. It's not clear. But Quran is clear in its instructions. Next, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in ayah number 70, لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. لِيُنذِرَ, to warn, man, who, kana, is, hayya, alive, wa yahiqqa, and may be proved true, al qawlu, the word, ala, against, al kafirin. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, liyunzira man kana hayya. What is the purpose of Quran? What is the purpose of it? To warn him who is alive. So Allah is saying that Quran is a warning for who? For the person who is alive. Why? Why it is for those who are alive? So that they can protect themselves, so that they can save themselves. And it has been sent so that that word can be justified. وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ, so that the word may be proved true against the disbelievers. Those who do not believe in the Quran would be justified. لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا can also means those whose hearts are alive, or those who are spiritually alive, will benefit from Quran, will take advantage from the Quran. And the disbelievers, what will happen to them? It will be justified against them on the day of judgment. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.